Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Golden Hour podcast. I'm your host, Daniel, and today I honestly can't believe what's happening. I've been preparing for this interview for weeks, maybe even months, and it still feels unreal. Sitting here with me, yes, right here in the studio, is one of the most influential artists in the world. Her music has inspired millions. Her storytelling has shaped an entire generation. And her voice has made us all dance, cry, and dream. You already know who I'm talking about. The one and only Taylor Swift. Taylor, welcome to the show. I'm so happy, and I think everyone listening can feel my excitement through the microphone. We're going to talk about your beginnings, your creative journey, and how you've grown into the global icon you are today. Thank you so much for being here, Taylor.
Hi, Daniel. Thank you so much for having me. That was such a warm introduction, and honestly, I'm smiling right now. It's really nice to be here and talk about something I love so much, music and storytelling. I'm always grateful when people want to go a little deeper, beyond the headlines or the stage lights. So, thank you for inviting me. I'm ready to have a fun, honest conversation with you and everyone listening.
We're the lucky ones, Taylor. I think I speak for millions of people when I say your music has been part of our lives for years. It's incredible how your songs connect with people across different ages and cultures. I'm so curious to hear about the person behind all those lyrics and melodies we love so much. So let's start from the heart of it all, the music.
That's really kind of you, thank you. Music has always been like a diary for me. I write to make sense of things, to capture moments before they disappear. I think we all have our own version of that. Some people paint, others write stories. Mine just happens to come with chords and melodies. It's how I've learned to understand myself and the world around me.
I love that image. Music as a diary. Let's go back to where it all began. How did you first fall in love with music? What was that moment when little Taylor decided, this is what I want to do with my life? Take us there, to the very beginning of your journey.
That's a beautiful question. I can still picture it, honestly. I grew up in Pennsylvania, and my family wasn't in the music business at all, but they always had songs playing around the house. My mom loved Shania Twain, and my dad listened to a lot of classic rock. I remember being around 10 or 11 when I first picked up a guitar. A computer technician was visiting our house to fix something, and he taught me a few chords while he was there. I think that moment changed my life more than I realized back then. After that, I practiced nonstop. My fingers hurt all the time, but I didn't care. I just wanted to make sounds that felt like the feelings inside me. I started writing songs about school, friends, crushes, anything that made my heart race or break. When I was about 13, I convinced my parents to take me to Nashville because I knew that's where country music lived. I remember walking around with demo CDs, handing them to record labels that probably didn't even listen. But it didn't matter. Every no felt like a step closer to a yes. Eventually, one of those little doors opened. I signed a deal, and that's when things started moving fast. Suddenly, I was performing in places I'd only dreamed about. I was still a kid, trying to figure out who I was. But I learned early on that hard work and persistence matter. There were many nights of self-doubt, but also this quiet voice inside saying, keep going. This is what you're meant to do. My first album was like opening a secret diary for the world to read. It was scary, but once people started connecting with the songs, it gave me courage. I realized that honesty, even when it's uncomfortable, creates connection. People didn't just listen. They saw themselves in the lyrics. That's when I truly understood the power of storytelling through music.
That's incredible, Taylor. It sounds like your journey was built on courage and a lot of heart. Looking at everything you've achieved, the name of the albums, the tours, the eras, how do you feel now when you look back? And how do you see yourself in the future? What keeps you motivated to keep creating after so many years of success?
That's a deep one, Daniel. Honestly, I feel incredibly grateful, but also more grounded than ever. When I look back, I see so many versions of myself. The teenager dreaming in her bedroom, the young woman learning how to survive fame, the artist trying to reinvent herself again and again. Each version of me had to exist so that I could reach the next chapter. Fame is strange. It can be wonderful, but also overwhelming. I learned to find balance by surrounding myself with people who truly know me, who remind me that I'm more than the person on stage. I've made mistakes, had heartbreaks, faced criticism, but all those things have made me stronger and more self-aware. I think growing up in the public eye taught me how to protect my peace. Creatively, I never want to stop exploring. That's why each album feels different. I see them as chapters: Fearless, Red, 1989, Reputation, Folklore, Evermore, Midnights. Each one represents a mood, a world, and a lesson. What keeps me motivated is curiosity. There's always a new sound to try, a new story to tell, or a new way to see something I thought I already understood. I also want to use my platform to create good energy, to remind people, especially young women, that they can take ownership of their art, their voice, and their story. I've learned the importance of re recording my music, of standing up for creative rights. Those experiences taught me empowerment in a very personal way. Looking toward the future, I don't know exactly what's next, and I love that. Maybe I'll explore film or write more stories. But whatever I do, it will always come from a place of emotion and truth. I don't want to chase trends. I want to follow feelings. And I hope I'll always be brave enough to change, to surprise myself, and to grow. The best part of the journey is that it's still going.
But I'm curious, what has been the hardest part of your journey as an artist? You've been in the spotlight since you were so young. What have you had to sacrifice along the way? Friendships, time, maybe even parts of yourself? What's the cost of living a life that everyone sees but few really understand?
That's a really deep question. And honestly, it's something I've thought about a lot. Being in the public eye from such a young age can be both a dream and a challenge. When I was a teenager, all I wanted was to share my music, to tell stories that made people feel something. But I didn't realize how much of myself I'd have to give up along the way. There's a lot of sacrifice that people don't see. I've missed birthdays, family moments, and simple things like just going out for coffee without cameras around. It's hard when every step you take becomes a headline or when people think they know you just because they've seen your face on TV. Sometimes I've had to remind myself that behind Taylor Swift, there's just Taylor, a girl who still writes songs in her journal, who cries, laughs, and worries like everyone else. Fame can make you feel isolated. It's like you're surrounded by millions, but still alone sometimes. I've also had to let go of people who couldn't handle the attention that came with being close to me. That's been one of the hardest parts, learning that not everyone will stay, and that's okay. But through all of it, I found strength in my fans and in my music. Writing has been my therapy. It's how I process heartbreak, pressure, and even happiness. Every time I step on stage and see faces singing along, it reminds me why I do this. The sacrifices are real, but so is the love. And in the end, that love, from music and from the people who believe in it, makes everything worth it.
Wow, Taylor, that's incredibly honest. It's easy to see the success, the awards, and the spotlight, but hearing what's behind it, the loneliness, the sacrifices, it's powerful. I think that's why so many people connect with you, because you turn pain into something beautiful. Your music feels real, and that's something the world truly needs. Taylor, that was absolutely beautiful. Thank you for sharing your heart with us today. I think everyone listening can feel how genuine you are, not just as an artist, but as a person. It's been a true privilege to have you on the Golden Hour podcast. Your words, your wisdom, and your warmth mean a lot. I know this conversation will inspire many people out there chasing their dreams.
Thank you, Daniel, and thank you to everyone listening. This was such a wonderful talk. I really felt like I could be open and reflective. I love conversations like this because they remind me why I started making music in the first place. To everyone out there creating or dreaming, keep doing it. You never know how your story might touch someone else's heart.
And that's the perfect note to end on. Taylor Swift, thank you for being here, for your honesty, and for your incredible art. To all our listeners, thank you for tuning in. Remember to follow the podcast, share it with your friends, and keep believing in your own story. Until next time, this is Daniel from the Golden Hour podcast wishing you love, courage, and music in everything you do. Goodbye, everyone.